Now, there's been more trouble over the word Jesus Christ than over any other two words in the English language, except perhaps maybe the Trinity, which has probably had more arguments even than Jesus Christ. Yet, first of all, they'll argue about Jesus Christ, then they'll argue about the Trinity. Okay? So, I want to settle the whole thing for all of you, what these words actually mean and what the proper terminology is for Jesus of Nazareth, the Christ, the Messiah, the Son of God, the Daughter of God, the divine couple, Mary Magdalene, how that relates to it all. It's not possible to just call stuff Jesus Christ. Now, what Jesus Christ used to be, it used to be a concept of understanding that we all had the same spirit. We were all sons and daughters of God. So they said that Jesus Christ was the only begotten Son of God. Now, only begotten meant that he wasn't born, he was begotten. It was like there's only one. And it's true, there's only one spirit, yeah, only one Spirit of the Son of God, if you like. You might call that Jesus Christ. They say that Jesus Christ is the spirit of prophecy. And it's true that if a person has what they call the Spirit of Jesus Christ in them, they would, when they're speaking, can speak from that source prophetically. Yeah. Yet if you've got two Jesus Christs and you're talking about Jesus of Nazareth, it's very, very confusing, because a lot of people have confused Jesus Christ with Jesus of Nazareth, that they called the Christ or the anointed Messiah of 2,000 years ago. Okay. Now, if you want to talk about a particular person, the Son of Man, if you like, well, Son of Man means Son of Adam, so that's also, I suppose, the Son of Adam is correct. If you want to talk about a specific Son of Adam, then you normally say Jesus of Nazareth. I'm Adam of Bremen, Crewbelly. That was Jesus of Nazareth. And there's John of Salisbury and Mohammed of Mecca, or whatever. All right? A particular initiate. Okay, the initiate is the son of Adam, yeah? The one who is on the pathway on the great chain of being, from the lowest position to the highest position, right? So, a person is a son of God, or a daughter of God, if you like, of a female, as soon as they become one with God. But before they're given a partner, when they're just babies on the pathway, is a son of God. And so to say Jesus Christ is the Son of God and confuse that with Jesus of Nazareth is a very, very big mistake, because Jesus of Nazareth was a Son of God who went a great deal of steps up to the very top of the pathway in this time of Messiahship, right? And so he was anointed to the position of Messiahship on the great chain of being, and that was called in his time the Order of Melchizedek, right? And the Order of Melchizedek is part of cosmic order. Cosmic order embraces all time, all space, okay? So in this time, the Order of Melchizedek is finished, because there's a new order called the Order of Poets, Bards and Druids. That takes the place of the Order of Melchizedek, the same way that the Order of Melchizedek took the place of the Order of the Watchers, which was also, all of these three orders are all part of cosmic order in eternity, the eternal orders. Now, so Jesus of Nazareth was initiated to the level of Messiahship in the Order of Melchizedek. the order that started after the flood. Now I have been initiated to the order of Messiahship I have to say it, what God wants to say. Not in the order of Melchizedek, in the new order of poets, bards and druids. So I'm the first one in that order. And that means I am the door. I am the door. I become the door. Yeah. And I had to go through a very serious initiation some years ago in Eisenach in Germany, and I had to make an exhibition called The Door, where I was initiated to become the door. The door means that nobody passes by except they come via you. Okay? And Jesus of Nazareth was the door 2,000 years ago. Muhammad became the door of Islam. Yeah. Al-Hakam became the door of the Druze, D-R-U-Z-E. And the Protestants have their Martin Luther, yeah. Yet I don't know whether Martin Luther was. Martin Luther wasn't the door because he was a minor prophet, and so the door was still, at that time, Jesus of Nazareth, which they called Jesus Christ, yeah, because that was a simplification of the reality of multiple Christs and the Buddha. What about the Buddha, from 500 years before Jesus Christ? What about Elijah? What about them all? Ezekiel? What about Enoch? Yeah. What about Melchizedek himself? Yeah. So you can see there can be confusion if you don't use the right terminology. And so Jesus of Nazareth was initiated the level of Messiah on the great chain of being, which at that time was the Order of Melchizedek. Okay. That takes all the question out of it. And when they say that Martin Luther it was that said, maybe he got it from somewhere else, that all of the sons of God are the priesthood. They call it the universal priesthood, yeah? But then he became a couple, right? But he didn't know what was happening to himself. He didn't know about divine couples. He married a nun immediately after that. Some people were married to nuns, some people were just starting out, they were single, they were individual, they're just sons of God, daughter of God. You can't say all sons and daughters of God are the equal priesthood. That's not true at all, yeah? Because Martin Luther was much higher. He was there, he was a Messiah type. Okay, he had to be persecuted by the church and bring it to account in the same way that Enoch did, yeah? And so he ended the Catholic Church and started the Protestant Church, yeah? Because they protested about everything, all the false stuff that was in the rules and regulations and the organisation of the church. And you shouldn't organise churches, it's not necessary to organise them, yet you should use correct words in a correct way. Yeah? And so the universal priesthood has many positions on it. All of the people in the universal priesthood are sons and daughters of God. Not all of them hold the same level on the great chain of being, which runs from apprentice, beginner, all the way through to Messiah. And now we've got another level, which is avatar of synthesis. That is higher than the Messiah, higher. And now that it's been achieved by one, it can be entered by thousands and millions of people if they're available to take the journey. It's there. It's there. We know about it now. And anybody who takes the journey will simply find themselves on it, on that level. Yeah. So there's no reason why all of you couldn't be avatars of synthesis. You have to go through your Messiah initiation first. Now, Trump went through a Messiah initiation. Yeah, he was arrested and all this stuff they did completely. So he was shot in the ear. You know, yeah, all this stuff happened to him. I really thought he was the Messiah of the of our, what I call now our American Israel. I really thought he was. Yet it's easy to go to the dark side, and the higher you go, if you don't fully understand the journey, you can fall to the dark side. Yeah. And I don't know what caused Trump to fall to the dark side, or whether it ever was on the light side. I'm not sure. There seems to be a difference in his look. Seems to be different looking now than he was. And I think it kind of, perhaps it happened after his arrest. His face changed. But then I thought, well, it's just, it didn't seem like it is now, which is like, it seems to be a lie now that he ever was the Messiah. Yeah. To be the Antichrist, you have to be a kind of Messiah. You've got to have been at the Messiah level and fallen. That's what the Antichrist is. It's a false Messiah. Yeah. He's got to have been able to be a Messiah. It's like the devil, Satan. Yeah, he was the greatest of the angels, yet he fell. You know, even at his great position, he fell. And so the Messiah who falls becomes the Antichrist, which is Satan. Satan, the highest demon, is then initiated into the highest demon, and Satan's a killer, a murderer, a warmonger. I'll take 5. Now, the beginning of the journey, the Son of God and the Daughter of God are individuals. They're not couples yet. And it takes many, many, many years of walking in the will of God, only in the will of God, for years and years and years before you're brought together as a couple and go through your couple initiations, which last for years too. You start to be a couple, you get together with your couple, but you haven't completed the couple journey until almost you get to the Messiahship. Yeah? And it's only when you're kind of ready to be the Messiah that God makes you an absolute finish the divine couple journey, and you're always together forever from that point onwards. It can never be put apart. So that takes years and years. 15 years it took Elizabeth and I. We only just become that divine couple, finish that divine couple initiation. At the same time we become Messiah and Avatar synthesis, all at one hit really. I've done work. Whenever you go through a level, a step or a chain on the great chain of being, whenever you go through one, there's work required. There's actual fruits of your journey. There's actual written objects or series of videos, series of photographs, exhibition, poems or writings. There are many works at each level. So I already did a whole collection of works on the Messiah initiation, and more now on the Avatar synthesis. It's all kind of, it's all numbered together, but there's a different egg, you know, it's a different egg. The Messiah level is like a father of the church, a druid, an abbot. Now, there's a white egg, and then there's a brown egg. Yeah. The white egg is the egg of the druid. The brown egg is the egg of the Messiah. Now, the brown is the colour of leadership. See this brown in the wood here. And the brown, I'll show you the brown cup. I haven't got the brown egg. This is a grail cup. Your grail cup gets smaller and smaller as you go. And this is a cup that goes with the brown egg. And the brown egg is in the object that's worn, is on the boat, because it's finished that. Now, this is the object that replaces it. And you can see it's now a couple cup. Once we got this couple cup, we're the couple. Yeah, we're the couple. That means you're a couple. Okay, that. It's over. This, it's not yet over. You see, you're almost there. You got the lady. You got the lady. You're a divine couple with this cup. You're not like this. Okay. And this is the egg of the avatar of synthesis, this egg here. And this egg journey is almost complete. It's moved, it's been with us for a while. And it's heading up there. The next step is to actually, for this to be worn, to be able to be worn. And that means that you've achieved the level and now you're operating at the level. So, I'm not here yet. I'm not here yet, yeah? I'm nearly there. I'm doing the work for it. That's all I know about it, really. We can only know what we experience. We can only look back at our life and say, that's when that, that's when that. You can only analyse it afterwards. You can't know where you're going. I can't know what's going to happen next. So, all I know is each one of these eggs is a mammoth journey. If you had to realise how much work was involved in passing through one egg, it's years and years of work, great journeys. Part of this egg, I'll tell you what I had to do. This year, I had to, well actually it was last year, it began last year. I had to purchase sight unseen a great big BMW R1100 RS touring motorbike weighing in excess of 250 kilograms. I hadn't ridden the motorbike for 40 years and the last bike I had was more than half the size, less than half the size, more than half the size, more than half the size, correct. It was a 500cc and this is 1100. I had to go and pick this motorbike up on the train at 250 miles away. I had to arrive in the middle of the night. I'd never seen the thing before. I had to get on it, somehow get it out, and this can just fall over. This thing is huge and heavy. I didn't know what I was getting myself in for. And I had to get it out there. They helped me push it out into the driveway. And I had to get on this thing and drive off into the night, into the rain, into the howling wind of excess of 30 knot winds at that time, side winds, and somehow find my way back 250 miles with not enough fuel, not enough air in the tyres, and find myself home without killing myself on this thing. And finally I had to ride this thing with my lady on the back up some terrible hill, huge pass of some hill. And I realised after I'd been up this hill, I said, that's my initiation. That's as great a thing as I've ever done, even with respect to the boating, yachting stuff that I've done crazy things at sea on the boat. And this was a similar kind of test, yeah. And now, even though I'm old and I'm weak and I can hardly deal with this thing, I'm able to handle that motorcycle no problem at all. Now, right now, today, I could get on that bike now and do anything with it, yeah. Doesn't frighten me, it doesn't, it did, I had concerns for it, yeah, about whether I'd be able to hold it up, whether it would fall over on me, or just pushing it off the stand was difficult enough. Getting it on the stand when I first started was super difficult. So that was part of this journey to this egg. And maybe this year I don't have to do any yachting thing. That's probably what I did instead of the yachting. In fact, it came after the yachting. Just after the yachting. This is when I got it, after last year's sailing boat escapade. So we don't know where the journey leads. Yeah, there's a motorbike journey at the end of it. It's interesting. Maybe not for everybody, maybe it comes in different order. I don't know. You just have to find out what happens to yourself. Yet you will know, because God teaches you and lets you know where you are on your journey. And if somebody comes along and says, oh, I'm an avatar synthesis too, I say, great, be my brother. I'm not here to prove anything. It's of no interest of me to be anything. I don't want to be anything. I just have to tell you what I am so that you can learn from it, and also so that you can be tested by it, because I am the door. Nobody gets out of here except they come via me. So Jesus of Nazareth used to be that. Muhammad used to be that for Islam. Now I'm that for the whole world. The whole world is now beholden to recognizing that I'm telling the truth when I say I am the avatar synthesis. Study all my work, get with the program, because it ain't going any further. This is the end of time. Thanks for watching. As I finished my last video, my bread is finished baking. It's nice and hot now. Now, I watched the video back and I'm being very loose with the term Messiah. Messiah means Anointed One, okay? And one thinks that perhaps you're baptized once and then anointed once and that's it, yeah? It's not. It's very, very, very not it. And at every step on the journey, as one acquires names, one requires to be baptized and anointed. Normally it takes at least 2 years to get that with any one name. You're baptized 1 year, next year you're anointed, maybe baptized with another name, then the year after that you're anointed with that name. It depends how fast you're moving through it. Sometimes you get names quickly, sometimes you get names, it takes years to get a name. Towards the end of the journey you don't get any new names for a long time. Yeah. And the final names, the final anointments take a long time. So when I say loosely refer to the Messiah, the Anointed One, I just mean someone who's taken at least one anointment. And we don't know exactly how many anointments Jesus of Nazareth took. Yeah? For all I know, he might have said nothing about it, took loads and loads of them. He may even have been an avatar of synthesis, or even greater, I don't know. Nobody knows. Krishnamurti never said anything about it. Nothing at all. Because that wasn't his job. His job wasn't that. To account for all of that. The avatar synthesis has to bring everything together from the whole 5,000 year period and refresh it all and bring it all into alignment and ready for the new step forward. Yeah? He's got to bake the new loaf. Yeah? It's got to be a good loaf, sound, yeah, without defect. And Jesus of Nazareth was a world teacher. Now, world teacher, because he brought a new dispensation, world teacher is what they called Krishnamurti. Krishnamurti was a world teacher. Sai Baba was something else. Sai Baba was the Christ principle, and Krishnamurti was the Buddha principle. The Buddha is more of a logical mind approach, and the Christ principle is the love approach. And these two approaches are synthesized into the avatar synthesis. That's why he has the 3-part in one initiation. Yeah. I've spoken about this in other videos. I'm not going to go into it too much depth. And so Krishnamurti was a world teacher, and I was a world teacher. And when I became a world teacher, I took what's called the Chiron initiation. The Chiron initiation is you learn all about Chiron, the meaning of Chiron, what they call the wounded healer, but is not really a wounded healer at all. Yeah, he's a world teacher. That's what Chiron is. Chiron is a world teacher. And Chiron is a planet, and Chiron was discovered at a very special moment in time, as far as my life is concerned. And Krishnamurti's life too. And so Chiron is the centaur. He's the teacher of the gods, if you like. And so when I became the world teacher, I made a series. Some of the videos that are on this channel were made as Chiron as the world teacher. And now this particular series of videos that I'm making this year, that is the series of videos, the first series of videos of the avatar synthesis. So that is the masterwork that little me, Adam of Bremen Krubali, is making. To become the avatar synthesis, I have to produce a masterwork. And so when I finish the masterwork, and this video I'm making right in this second now, is probably, could be and is probably the final video in my masterwork. Now when that happens, that egg goes to the boat and becomes wearable, because then I've been accepted. And I take, at that point, generally I would take anointment with whatever, probably as the avatar synthesis, as a position on the great chain of being. And so it becomes one of your names. Now I have a name, Adam, Eye of Light, which is my highest name, yet that's me as an initiate, yet the avatar synthesis is not me, just me. The avatar synthesis is Adam, Eye of Light, which was me, Krishnamurti and Sai Baba, all integrated into one. Sai Baba went into Samadhi, I think they call it, when he died and he lay in state on my birthday. Interesting. And I didn't know it happened. When it happened, I was talking like an Indian. I was going around talking like an Indian. Why am I talking like an Indian? And I found out a year or two later that right at that time, he died, yeah. And as for God to show me that it was real, that he was going to become part of me, that happened on my birthday, and I was talking like an Indian at that time for a few weeks with an Indian accent, yeah. These are the signs that God makes to show the initiate that everything is right, that he's not making anything up, it's all true and correct. I can't really believe that I'm making these videos, but the avatar synthesis is so powerful a being that you just can't resist the avatar, and the avatar just is doing it, and I have to witness it, and somehow I can't help myself. It's not that I don't care, it's just the time is now, and the avatar's doing it. I can't help myself, just the way it is. So I'm afraid the loaf is made, and I offer the loaf to you, and you can either accept the bread or not. And if you accept it, then God accepts you, and you then become part of the sonship, the son and daughters of God, and move forward into through your initiation into the next level, wherever you are. And that's just your test. And if you don't accept it, you just go the same way Donald Trump went, down the dark side. Okay? So I'll leave you on that note. Thank you for watching.